So this is a box. It's a huge box. Portion of my order from the art supply store. So I did it all online. So I have no idea what I actually bought. I have some idea. I've been to the building previously, but I don't have an entire idea. See, I knew this was going to be a little box, which is sort of what I was looking for paints and things, but it's not actually very big. I should have bought a bigger one as well. Never mind. So these are all a heap of art supplies. So I'll just make the camera look down at them. I've got a lid, I've got, I'll put the camera back up. I've got everything from oil paints to gloss gel to, I suppose I have 3 paintbrushes, this is only one, so to a paintbrush, to little artboards, to artboard papers, to, what else do I have here? Wow, this palette's actually a lot bigger than what I thought. This big palette. This is huge. I only need this one. I thought it'd be small. And so I bought this one too, just in case. I also bought this one. You never know. But this is huge. Look at it. All you need. This is worth it. Cheap. Really cheap. So I didn't know this was going to be so big. I would have just bought this one. I thought it was like going to be a little tiny one, about that big, and I thought, oh, I'm not sure about this one. It might not be enough. So which is why I bought a couple of other different types. But this is huge. This is all you need. So that's cool. I also put a box so I can put all my finished board artworks in there. Put a box. I'm not going to take this out until after this week because we're putting everything in storage and renovating the rooms and stuff, so I'm not going to keep it in the box. But this is a lovely little storage box. I'm just to store my artwork things. Paints if I found that other box wasn't big enough, but mostly I just bought it for an extra storage compartment. I got another paintbrush. You good old steady. And in here, I won't take it out because I've got a box. It's an easel and a box, so you can sort of prop it up and do art outside with it, and store your paints in there. So I've got a few storage boxes. So that's very good, and I'm yet to get all the additional paints. I've got another paint set and a few other things. So this one only has the oil-based paint, so I'm yet to get all my paints. This is a good brush, and I think I bought a brush set as well. Oh yeah, there it is. Ideally you can paint a magnificent tree with this. I did do quite well. I'm not actually a very good artist. I don't practice enough because I'm always moving here, there and everywhere. And I like to invent my own kind of art, so I don't really sell as much, and I don't paint as much as I should for someone who wants to be an artist, so I definitely don't paint on the huge boards, which I should too, but I'm I'm still fairly much just a hobby artist, so I sort of got almost got into museum and then changed my mind, and ever since they said, oh, I don't do art anymore, and I'm like, why? It's like, you can't stop ever doing art and all this. So ever since I've sort of just been back to hobby art as opposed to taking it seriously, where you do like bigger and bigger art pieces, more inventive, more layering, more constructive. Maybe you find something sells over others and keep repeating, doing a similar painting in the future and with similar style or similar subject or whatever. And I'm like, so since I didn't get that lift into the art world, I just do it just every now and again, once in a while, once, twice a year, really. Otherwise, I would have like a whole storage room filled with art pieces. No idea when they're gonna go. But I should experiment a lot more, because I think there's something that I'm yet to capture, which could possibly be like more interesting than whatever it is I've done. So I did have some luck last year with Simpsons style art, but that was only when I had to put a buyer interested. Previously I've done caked white art, where you just paint the board a white color and you cake it, and you know, it looks kind of cool, but it's just a plain whiteboard of art. That was kind of popular, but so were a lot of other things that I've done. Apple cheek paintings are pretty popular. I did do a road painting, which was kind of popular for a little while, but it's no longer popular. I did a cloud paintings, which were kind of popular for a little while, but which is no longer popular really, and all this and that. So you can tell when something gets popular because everyone wants it all of a sudden, and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, how can everyone want this, you know? So yeah, you don't have those sorts of hypes all the time. So when the fame for that particular art goes, it's like back to square one sort of thing. But beach art is very popular. And so there's a lot of art that I haven't thought of. Oh, so I just have to experiment again. I get told not to sell tabletop art for cheap. You know how you got a table with a jug and water and some fruit on there? Because sometimes people look at my art and go, why are you selling this for like, you know, more? And I'm like, I don't know, it's just an amateur version of, it's just a fairly cheap version of art, but I don't spend enough time on any art piece. So it's usually quick and easy. It's usually pretty quick and easy, but I should develop it more and spend more time, layer and relayer, and work on shadowing a lot more. I don't work on shadowing at all, so I have a fairly flat surface painting which doesn't have much depth. But I don't necessarily like shadowing because it always looks kind of crappy. But sometimes I do. Sometimes I put like a picture in black and white and copy it, and that's like helps me to develop shadowing. But a lot of time I don't do shadowing at all. But I wish I could like practice more, and I wish I could have like a storage space so I can store more art and practice it a lot more and everything. But I just don't have the space. But I thought, why not? Let's just get some art stuff and maybe do a bit of art, because I spend way too much time on computers, and I could probably use like a tennis ball in the ground kind of toy, because just to hit and move a little bit, a tennis ball. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna get that, but I need something other than computers and mobile phones and TVs. So I thought let's just get a heap of art supplies and see how it goes. So that's what I did. Basically, it's the reason behind it, because I stare way too much at computers. Spend way too much time on the internet and surfing and I write. work now that I have a job and this and that. Talking about computers, I have to go get on there soon.